Hey, what's up, everybody? It's just Charleston, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have a very interesting episode for you guys that we definitely want you guys to stick around for. So make sure you go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now, we all know that Kyrie Irving's favorite NBA player of all time is one Kobe Bryant. We even did a video. We produced a show where Kyrie Irving basically explained why he asked Kobe is his favorite player of all time. He's like, I don't care about your stats. He's like, Kobe's my guy. So we all know that Kyrie Irving had a deep reverence for Kobe Bryant. And if you dig deep, you will realize that there was some similarities between the career of Kyrie Irving and Kobe. When Kobe came into the NBA, he was a young phenom, and he was paired with Shaquille O'Neal, who was already an established all-star dominant big man, probably the most dominant basketball player in the world at that time. But when him and Shaq initially became teammates, they butt heads. And this is well documented. It's publicly documented. But ultimately, Kobe and Shaq found a way to, be successful together and ultimately win 3 NBA championships in a row. And I think they made it to 4 NBA finals in a row, if I'm not mistaken. And that's the same thing. And there's some similarities between Shaq and Kobe and Kyrie and LeBron James, right? When Kyrie got there, although he was drafted before LeBron got there, but when LeBron got there, he was a guy from, he was the original kid from Cleveland or from Ohio. And he was a big dog when he got there. And Kyrie Irving was already developing as an NBA player. And now he found himself in a situation where he had to adjust his way of playing, because I'm sure Kyrie Irving as a young guy was like, okay, this is going to be my team. I'm going to help take this team to the next level. And then before you know it, LeBron James walks through the door, right? And he comes in with all the cameras and all the, the attention. And for those who may not know, at one time, Kyrie Irving and LeBron James did not see eye to eye. So during a recent interview just yesterday on Uninterrupted, I believe is LeBron's show, part of his media company, Kyrie Irving spoke about the challenges of being teammates with LeBron James during the Cleveland Cavaliers playing days. So what we want to do is we want to play what Kyrie Irving had to say about the time he was teammates with LeBron James, and then we're going to come back and react to it. So take a listen to that there.
So I want to be just like them, like playing with Bron and playing with KD. These are 2 of the best to ever lace them up, but within our culture, they are 2 true icons. And I had to fill in those shoes that were very uncomfortable for me, because at that point in my life, I didn't know where I wanted to go. I was watching the 30 for 30 on a decision. A year later, I was drafted
Exactly.
into that Cleveland emotional train of
yes.
The prodigal son, chosen one has left. And here we have this 19-year-old kid. I'm 6'2". I'm not jumping out of the gym. Emotionally, I was dealing with things that I had no idea.
Had nothing to do with you.
Nothing to do with me. Absolutely nothing. So when I took on that pressure and as my own, I started feeling like I got to bring Cleveland back to the promised land. That was a solo act.
You went through that when you were 19. How old were you when Bron came back?
22, 23.
22, 23. With what you know now at 30, do you do anything differently during that period?
We could sit here for hours. We could sit here for hours going through the details, combing through it. But I think the greatest thing I would tell the youth is superheroes need help. You know, the leader of the team doesn't always have to take on the burden. And Bron took on crazy burdens. We feel that's the biggest commonality we have as human beings is emotions. They may look different in how we express it, but they're the same. If you're angry or you're sad or you're going through stuff in your life, it is the same emotion that I would feel. It just may look different.
So you heard what Kyrie Irving had to say there. Now, what I find interesting about what he said was that when he was asked about how things could have been done differently, he said that we could literally spend all day here. What does that mean? I believe that Kyrie Irving, retrospectively, looking back, realizes that there were certain things he could have done better. But I think LeBron also realizes that there's certain things he could have done better as well. It's the exact same situation with Shaq and Kobe. When Shaq and Kobe were no longer teammates, and later down the line when they had retired, they did a famous sit down together. You guys can go see it there on YouTube. And I think in their advanced ages, these guys are like in their 40s at that time, if I'm not mistaken, or Kobe was in his late 30s, early 40s, and Shaq was already in his 40s. I think they had a certain level of perspective that age brought and time brought that they didn't have when they were in the moment. And you saw both guys say, I could have done this differently. Kobe said, I would have done that differently. Both guys spoke about the reasons that they did certain things because they thought they could motivate guys like that. And Shaq, interestingly enough, also spoke about the mistakes that he made with Kobe and how he did his best not to repeat those mistakes when he joined Dwayne Wade with the Miami Heat. I believe it was in 2004, 2005, if I'm not mistaken. And Shaq said the moment he got to Miami, he told D Wade straight to his face, young fella, this is your team, right? They didn't even get into, this is my team, this is your team. He just told him, this is your team. I'm here to support you. And then ultimately they went on to win an NBA championship. And really that's what I'm seeing with Kyrie Irving and LeBron James. Just recently, LeBron expressed some support for Kyrie Irving. I believe he said Kyrie's misunderstood or something like this. And Kyrie has been saying a lot of positive things, excuse me, about LeBron James. And I believe all of that is coming from a genuine place, right? I was just surprised that he was able to open up the way he did in that particular soundbite. And to be quite honest with you, playing with LeBron comes with a lot of pressure. At the time he still is, but playing with the face of the NBA, I mean, the moment LeBron James walked through the door, he walked in with all the cameras, right? And Kyrie Irving said it there in that soundbite that LeBron had a lot of pressure on him. He had a lot of things that he had to deal with, right? And to be fair to Kyrie Irving, he absolutely stepped up to the plate. He did. Kyrie Irving was in that Game 7 against the Golden State Warriors, and he hit one of the biggest shots in NBA history. No one is going to ever dispute Kyrie Irving's contribution to that championship and dispute the fact that that was one of the illest shots in NBA history. No one is disputing that. So I think it was very nice to hear Kyrie Irving kind of open up about the relationship he had with LeBron. And obviously, there's been a lot of speculation over the last 2 months or so that Kyrie Irving and LeBron James were probably going to end up being teammates because the Lakers were looking to trade Russell Westbrook for Kyrie, but I don't think that's going to happen. And probably if it happens, it may happen next year. But it's very interesting to hear that. And I think he was saying that in front of one of LeBron's business partners and friends, and I believe in Maverick Carter, if I'm not mistaken. He was also in the room with him. So I think that was a great, I think it was a great clip. And I think that there's a lot that we can learn from it, right? And I think Kyrie and LeBron are in a great place, and hopefully they can maintain it because those guys were really a special duo, and their games really, really matched well together, right? It really, really did. Kyrie Irving with his ability to shoot, play off the ball. LeBron was very unselfish with Kyrie. He let him get a lot of shots. He let him close games sometimes. So it's very good to hear that Kyrie Irving feels this way about LeBron after all this time, that they still have positive things to say about one another. So these are my thoughts and opinions on this. The question to the audience is, what do you think about what Kyrie Irving had to say? And given how things turned out, do you think Kyrie Irving and LeBron ultimately, were a successful pairing? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. And we catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.